sense to me, especially as a Heat fan on a day like today. The play-in is tonight. It's in Atlanta, so thank God we don't even have to make up an excuse as to why we're not going to it in person. They have a shot at making it to the playoffs so they can be fodder for the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. Zaz, just before you know where I stand on all this, but before I even talk about it, just you as real Heat fan, as voice of the 305, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings going into tonight?
Oh, I think they're going to win tonight. I wasn't as confident going into the game in Chicago the other night. The Heat were 0-3 on the season against the Bulls. It's been a lousy year. And then in the middle of the game, I was like, what were you thinking? like, there was not a moment in that game on Wednesday night where you didn't believe the Heat were going to win.
Yeah.
And I know the Heat have blown double-digit leads throughout this season, including all 3 times they played Chicago in the regular season. They blew double-digit lead, all right? So I get it, but that was such a game that you look at like, of course the Heat were going to win that game. Based on the season they've had, of course they were going to show up in a game like that when it mattered. It was exactly the type of game that the Miami Heat win. It's a lousy Bulls team. It doesn't matter that it's on the road. And most everybody on this Heat team, they've been through big playoff games, all right? They know how to play in a big spot. And the same thing is going to wind up happening tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. And I got news for you, Theo. If you were to give the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Heat would beat the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit here, if you would give the truth serum to the Cleveland Cavaliers and you said, who do you hope wins this game tonight? I'll just let you answer it, Theo. If you gave the Cleveland Cavaliers truth serum, who do you think they would answer when you ask them, who do you hope wins tonight and you play in the first round? The answer is who?
Yeah. Well, I would say the Heat.
You think they're rooting for the Heat? They'd rather play the Heat than the Hawks.
Here's the thing. If they play the Heat, the Cavs likely win in 5. If they play the Hawks, they probably walk out of there with a sweep. The reason why I would say the Heat, here's the thing. The reason why I would say the Cavs will want the Heat is, number one, you want your players to be tested and challenged a little bit in the first round. Number two, who's the owner of the Cavaliers and what franchise does he hate almost the most? Dan Gilbert, the Miami Heat.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
so you're talking about like a personal vendetta.
Yeah,
and I'm talking about the coach, the players. Like they don't care about Dan Gilbert's vendetta against the Heat.
Nobody. Let's not act like people fear this Heat team in any kind of realistic way. Jimmy Butler's not walking through that door. When your number one option is Tyler Hero, and behind him it's like, oh, let's see if Andrew Wiggins can chunk up 20 shots and make 6 of them. Like, I don't think we have a real shot at beating anybody in the 7-game series.
The Heat have never played the Cavs in the playoffs. You know that? That has never been a postseason matchup.
Wow.
Cleveland. They've never faced Cleveland in the playoffs.
Also, a 10 seed has never made it into the playoffs. The Heat. This is perfect timing for the Heat to do another unthinkable from the play into the finals.
We are talking about the greatest play-in team in the history of the NBA. I mean, I dare you to counter that argument.
Zaz, that's embarrassing.
No play-in team. I didn't say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. All I said was they're the best, they're the greatest play-in team. The NBA has been around for 100 years. The Heat are the greatest play-in team. Before you get to the playoff, you got to play in.
Yeah.
And the Heat are the greatest play-in team ever. No other play-in team has ever reached the NBA Finals. Only the Miami Heat. The Heat are the greatest play-in team of all time. And, by the way, underrated play-in rivalry. Heat-Bulls. 3 straight years that the Miami Heat have eliminated the Chicago Bulls from the play-in. Underrated. Maybe someone would say greatest play-in rivalry, Heat-Bulls.
Zaslow, we used to be a proud franchise.
I'm not saying whether you should be proud or not proud of anything, but everything I just told you is a fact.
We was Wolves. Now we're play-in fodder. I hate this. I hate the whole play-in. I love the play-in for why it's there and what it stands for. Like, what the play-in is for teams like the Warriors. It's not supposed to be for teams like the Heat and the Hawks. I don't think it is.
I think the Warriors should be embarrassed that they had to have a play-in game.
No. They're a different team than they were before the trade deadline. They were one of the best teams afterwards. Jimmy Butler is the new-look Warriors team. It's a tightly contested West, and they are an actual team that can win a title. I think it's for teams like that to sneak their way in and have a shot. It's not for the Heat so that they can play extra games before they get beat up on.
I would change the play-in. They're not going to change it because they just sold these games to Amazon, all right? Yeah. That's what it's going to be on next year.
And it's the SoFi play-in.
But I would...
Is that why my interest rate went down?
I would guarantee playoff spots to the top 7 instead of the top 6. And instead of having 3 play-in games per conference, so 6 total, I would have just 2 per conference and 4 total, where I would have 9 play 10, and the winner of that plays 8 for the 8th spot.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's too many play-in games. I don't know that over an 82-game season, the 7 seed should be in jeopardy of losing their spot in the playoffs to a 10 seed. You had 82 games.
Yeah.
All right. Should the team that's 3 positions lower than you be allowed to knock you out of a playoff spot? I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. That's a change that I would make, but I don't think they're listening to me.
No, I don't think
anyone called me before they signed this deal with Amazon and said, Zaslow, what do you think? I missed that call.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't ever assume that they're not listening. You might have missed a mail. You might have missed a call.
It's possible.
You probably are randomly in a group chat that you muted where that was being discussed. So you just never know.
Sometimes you gotta mute the group chat sometimes. I don't need my phone buzzing all the time.
I absolutely have to mute the group chat because of the way my attention span works. If my phone buzzes one too many times, I'm going to have to inevitably look. So most group chats I'm in get muted.
Got to.
Jonathon Zaslow joining us, voice of the 305, Zaslow Show 2.0, talking a little Heat Hawks tonight, play-in action, which will be right here on ESPN 106.3, by the way. They tip things off 7:30. I didn't even look because I don't plan on – okay, 7. Here's the thing, Zaz. I got to be honest. I wanted the Heat to have the lottery pick. I didn't want them to have to give their pick up to the Thunder. Oh, whatever. That ship has probably sailed. Sold? Sailed? The ship sailed? Yeah, you're right. Here's what I'll be honest about. I don't think I care about the result of tonight's game. Like one way or the other. Heat win, cool. Heat lose, fine. I'm not moved by this game at all, and I don't know what that says about me.
No, it's just, I mean, it says that this season has been lousy, and like
I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, when it's over, you're ready, you're done with it, all right? Look, if the Heat lose tonight, I'm not going to lose any sleep. But if the Heat win tonight, I'm into the playoffs. Give me at least another 4 games. Can you go into Cleveland, put a little bit of a scare into them? Can you steal one of those first 2 games? You get a fun atmosphere in front of the home fans for games 3 and 4. I can't root against this team.
Yeah.
You know, the other day on Wednesday night, sit down with my boys. My younger son comes in. Heat Bulls like, all right, we're rooting for the Bulls, right? Because we want to.
There we go.
Lottery. So
That's my guy.
I'm like, no, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Now maybe when the game's over, I'm not going to lose sleep, and then I could talk myself into, all right, cool, lottery pick. But when the game's going on, when I sit down on the couch in the Zaslow Mansion family room, it's about the Heat, man. It's about winning that game tonight.
I'll say you got good genes, man. Your son thinks well. He's on the same accord with me on this, and I appreciate that.
He's better at looking at the big picture than I am.
Yeah.
Quick, Zaz, before you go.
Yeah.
Cena or Rhodes, who's going to win on Sunday in WrestleMania?
Oh, what a great question. I'm so locked into WrestleMania this weekend. John Cena is going to win his 17th World Championship. That's right. He's going to shock the world. Cena is going to walk out Sunday night
17?
with that title. 17.
How many they play these things 5 times a year?
He's been around for 25 years.
17? Was anybody else competing? Is this like the Celtics run in the 60s? Who else is playing?
Here's the underrated part of it. It means he's lost it 16 times.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Wow. Okay, Jonathon Zaslow, Zaslow Show 2.0. You know where you can find him, man. He's great. As always, I appreciate your presence. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Go Hawks tonight. Don't tell him I said that.
Not
Go in love.